Classes Basics Part 1. In this lesson, I will show you how to use a basic class. What is a class? Let's see what Wikipedia has to say about this. In object-oriented programming, a class is an extensible program code template for creating objects providing initial values for states, member variables, and implementation of behavior, member functions, and methods. Well, in Java basically, and in almost every programming language, a class can hold its own variables, which are called attributes, and its own methods. Here they call it values for state member variables, and implementation of behavior is the member functions, which are called methods. In Java they are called methods. Basically, it's kind of a way of using more files. In all the project you will work on, you will need multiple classes. You will not write all of your code in the main method. I would like to show you a basic problem and a basic solution using a class to show you how to implement the most basic use of a class. Let's say we want to calculate and output 1 plus 1. We will create 3 ints, x, y, and z. X will hold 1, y will hold 1 also, and z will do the plus calculation between them. X equals 1, y equals 2, and z equals x plus y, and let's output it s.o. You already know how to do what I'm writing here. We will output it very formatted. As you can see, we have the x int. This plus is not plus. It's mean increment this string, which has plus inside it because we want to show the user the operation we're doing, which is plus y, and the equal signs, we'll put it in another string, and finally the z. Let's run it. 1 plus 2, I wrote 2, let's write 1, equals 3. Yeah, it's correct, but wanted 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So, very simple program. You already know what it does. Here we declare the variables, here we do the calculations, and here we output it. But what if I wanted to use it again? I'll do this, I'll copy it, and I'll change this to 2 plus 2, and it will output 2 plus 2 equals 4. Let's say I want to use it again, I'll have to copy it again. I think you already got the point that this can get real messy, real fast. You see, I have to copy these 4 lines that do exactly the same again and again and again. Let's say I wanted this to be different numbers, just so you can say you can use a loop to do it. Here I want to show you how to use classes and methods to do it. So we will have to create another class. At the beginning of the course, we created a class for the main class. If you remember how to do it, we need to click on the package, L26, either click here, create Java new class, or right click it and go to new class, and let's call the class calc, short for calculate, because we will use it to calculate stuff. So here we have a new class. That's a new class. It also mentions they are called objects. Classes, objects, potato. So it's empty. It's an empty class. It's a class called calc. Let's let's create it. Let's delete all of this garbage. And let's create a calc class. We do it like declaring a variable. Calc, let's call it C. And then we'll have to use the new keyword to create calc and put parentheses after the class name. And that's how you create class object. It's called an instance of a class. This is an instance of the class calc. What will it do? Nothing, because we haven't put anything inside of it. Well, let's create a method that will do the plus operation. We will call it, we will have to declare it's public. This is the scope. I will explain what scope is in later lessons, but for now just do it like that. Public void. Void means nothing, which is, it returns nothing. I will also explain returns in later lessons. For now just copy it, plus, and after the plus I will put parentheses and curly brackets. And plus will get a few arguments. If you remember, in a lot of lessons we used Java utilities that are actually Java classes that has methods. So this is nothing new. We called the method and then we passed arguments to it. So the first thing we have to do is declare the arguments. We want to calculate two numbers, so we'll need two ints, int x and comma int y. Now we can pass to this method two arguments. Let's save it and let's use it. C.plus. Let's write 1 and 1, and let's comment this out so it won't output anything. Let's see what it does. Again, nothing. Let's also put and calc so we know where it ends. So to make it do stuff, we will have to put the code inside these curly brackets, the execute. It's called the execute. So let's just copy this. We don't need these two because we get them from here. We will only declare z. So now when I run it, it will go from here. It will send these two. It will send them here, and they will be assigned to x and y. Let's delete these two. We don't need this either. We just want to do the calculation. They will be sent here and will be assigned to x and y and be calculated by z and output it to the console. Let's see it. And now let's say I want to do it 5 times with different numbers. So now instead of writing all of this again and again and again, we will just change these numbers in the function and call it 5 times. We use 1 line of code instead of 4. So this saves us a lot of time. Let's see it. So instead of writing these 3 lines or 4 lines as we had at the start, we will call calc and create an instance of calc, and then we can use its public method. Public methods if it has more than one method. If it was private, then we would get an error because a private scope. Yeah, let's see. The method plus from type calc is not visible. The private scope makes it not visible to anything outside of the class. I will explain it in a future lesson. Just wanted to show you. But for now, let's stick to only what we have here. So as I said, we use one line instead of 4 to save time. Nothing too complicated here. There is no why it works. That's how Java is designed, as an object-oriented programming language. Let's run it again. See everything is okay. Yeah, it runs it again. Let's see what else I didn't cover. If it's not clear or anything, you can contact me via the Q&A and I will try to help, or you can rewatch it or find other resources about it, but it's a very, very simple subject. It's not all classes do, but it's the most basic use I can think of for a class. In the next lesson, we will do more advanced things with the classes. And that's it for this lesson.